To conquer this factory, I'll have to create multiple types of trees, crush down acorns, defy the laws of nature, and even resort to eating dirt while fighting off my lacking computer resources because I don't have enough fucking space to record this fuck. Welcome to SkyFactory 4. This is an editing side note because when I realized when I was looking at the footage, it's like jittery as hell. And I don't want to re-record that because that was a bunch of time that I don't want to have to redo. So just deal with it for now, fix it next time. Like with any good Minecraft world, I started by having to break a tree down. Wow, so exciting, I know, so excited. After breaking down the tree, I used to make a crafting table and some slabs to expand my less than optimal base. With the sticks I had acquired from breaking down the tree, I used to make a crook because crooks made it a lot easier to get more saplings back from whatever you're breaking, or the leaves you're breaking more specifically. Taking a look into the advancements, I'd seen that the next step for me would be either getting a drying rack or petrified saplings, which I don't get for a bit because I'm kind of a dumbass. But after getting plenty of wood, I use it to make an axe to make, cutting down trees a bit easier because it's kind of slow low-key. But I also make my first drying rack, which I don't put up because I like it being symmetrical. I don't know why. Not like really symmetrical. It's kind of just like having theory, but you get the point. With the resources I had gathered from cutting down a bunch of dirt trees, I was finally able to use dirt acorns and dirt resin to make my first dirt block. Or first two, actually. In the mod pack, if you squat near a plant, it'll make it grow faster. So I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of twerking, bro. A whole lot of twerking. After a bit of setting up and, expanding my base, I finally set up my drying rack setup. But because I'm a dumbass, right? I put in the dirt saplings instead of putting in the acorns, which I literally minutes later look at the crafting recipe for the petrified sapling and see it takes acorns, right? But I still don't switch it out because, but after 5 long minutes of me not realizing, I finally switch out the saplings for the acorns that are supposed to be there. After a bit more grinding, I'm finally able to make the petrified sapling. But the days of squatting aren't over yet because I have to keep on squatting until these trees grow because I still don't have a lot of materials and, the materials aren't gonna make themselves. After a bit more twerking, I finally grew my petrified— You heard me! After being rudely interrupted by someone, I finally cut down the petrified tree, which supplied me with some cobblestone. A bit more grinding, I know I'm gonna be repeating that a lot. I finally made a clay sapling, and a few minutes after growing my first clay sapling, I realized something. If you were to smelt down clay down into bricks, you'd be able to make a bonsai pot or whatever, right? But the bonsai pot would grow an entire tree and produce all of its contents, but it wouldn't take up as much space. So I began making those. With the bricks finally acquired, I made my first bonsai pot. To make the bonsai pots more efficient, I made fertile soil to make the saplings drop more and grow faster. After making one bonsai pot, I couldn't get enough, so I just made a bunch of bonsai pots for each individual type of sapling. These increased the speed at which I would be gaining resources, making it a whole lot easier to make things. Afterward, I began my least favorite part of Minecraft, organization. I just hate organizing stuff. It's just so boring. Like, you just have to go, oh yeah, put a sign on this, put a sign on that, put this in here, put this in here. It's just so boring, bro. Anyways, I continued on planting both gravel and bone saplings down, both lending us very useful resources that we can be using in the future for items like tin and iron, and other saplings. After looking at the advancements tab, I realized the next thing for me to get would be the cottonwood sapling. But to make the cottonwood sapling, I need a jungle sapling. And to get a jungle sapling, I need to soak a clay sapling in mud. But that wasn't it because I need to make a clay bucket and then fire that bucket to pick up the mud from a crushing barrel. But then that also wasn't enough because then I needed to dry those jungle saplings into vines. And guess what? I needed 3 vines. But after all that, I was finally able to make only 2 of the 3 con saplings that I needed. But there's one thing I realized from making jungle saplings is that I got cocoa beans, and cocoa beans could be used to make brown mulch. And brown mulch was basically just a better alternative to fertile soil. But then I had to replace all my bonsai pots with brown mulch instead of the fertile soil. With a string being produced from my cottonwood tree, I was finally able to make a bed. I can finally sleep. I can finally sleep through the dark night. I don't know why the night's so dark. Grounding a petrified sapling in sand acorns could be used to net me the sand sapling. As I did with all my other saplings, I planted these in a bonsai pot as well. To pass some time and also knock on an achievement, I made a chest slab because, I said stop slapping yourself. It was one of the top you know what I mean. After finally caving to my hunger, I finally started eating dirt acorns like a damn slave. Quick intermission here. The jittering gets like so much worse. I don't know why, but I'll fix it. By dunking a sand sapling into water, you can make a birch sapling. But I was trying to make it into a coal one, but I accidentally used it for fuel. I should have thought before I put it in there, but my brain was kind of just going on autopilot, I can't lie. After remaking the sapling, I put it back into the furnace and I turned it into a coal sapling. Used to make tin, I'd need more than just a furnace and some saplings. I actually needed to make a porcelain melter in tandem with a porcelain heater to actually, melt down the metal. But this is where my problem that I brought up in the beginning of the video comes up. Well, fighting off my lacking computer resources because I don't have enough fucking space to record this because I ran out of storage like midway through. I have like a small clip of me putting in the tin amber, but like that's it. So I'm just gonna put an outro like here or something. I'm gonna put like a random cut to an outro.